Introduction, yours.
All the students and the participants, we have the guest speaker on the subject, accountant duties under company law. She's CS Company Secretary R.Hema Garu. She's a state tax officer from Chennai. And she'll be going to explain about the duties of an accountant under company law. We talked about GST accountant, income tax accountant, like this company law accountant. What are the provisions, how an accountant has to function, and what are the care action to be taken under company law. I have pleasure to introduce Company Secretary R.Hema Garu. She's associate of Company Secretaries of India and Bachelor of Business Management, PG Diploma in HR, and she is an experienced tax officer specializing in indirect tax department and a qualified company secretary, offering services and exhibits expertise under maintenance of registers, resolutions, matters relating to amalgamation, demerger, issuance of share certificate, and dividend declaration. Her background goes in 1995 to 2002, she was junior assistant in indirect taxes department. 2002 to 2011, system assistant in indirect tax department. 2011 to 2015, deputy commercial tax officer. 2015 onwards, she is a commercial tax officer and under administration, assessment, enforcement, and legal departments. Shown expertise in matters relating to GST audits and assessments involving professional assessments, scrutiny, non-filers, and GST enforcement. Involved and also provided consultation with regard to e-way bills, roving squad supplies inspections, provided consultations for internal audit issues arising with respect to VAT and GST, preparation of reports for multiple committees under the Companies Act, Audit Committee, Nomination and Remuneration Committee, maintenance of statutory registers and software maintenance of employees under the labor laws, exhibited expertise in amalgamation, demerger and liquidation matters for multiple companies alongside issues involving issuance of share certificates and declaration of dividend. And her leadership and people management skills goes to offered expertise in project management, client relationship, and team management for multiple projects through the course of experience under indirect tax regime. Single-handedly worked on issues on areas involving GST audits for multiple clients. Yes, madam. So now the session is handed over to you to take up, madam. Thank you.
Good morning to all. Sir have given me a very good introduction about me, and my commercial taxes experiences come across 27 years, and I did my company secretary 2008. I completed my company secretary 2018 only, but meanwhile I did my company secretary work also with the state tax officer work. I'm now starting my session about how an accountant doing normal work can expertise themselves with 4 accounts of company law. How they can accompany themselves with all the 4 accounts of as per the Companies Act. The topics that I'm going to I'm going to explain is that the 4 accounts under the company law, the duties under cost accounting, financial accounting, management accounting, companies accounts, and how you will be equipping with the latest technology that have been entered 5-10 years before, but now only we are practically using that latest technology. That I'll be explaining in the end.
Madam, that point is a very good point. That is,
Yes.
is what we call it as a technology accountant.
Yes,
I think
sir.
you may coin the word. Yeah, very good. Yes,
Yes. Thank you.
appreciate. Yeah, for
Thank you.
that. Thank you.
As an introduction, how these 4 accounts is accommodated under companies, various companies. How these 4 accounts is coming under a company. A company may be a limited company, limited by guarantee, limited by shares, or unlimited company, private company. There are more companies. You would have come across all the types of companies which you are working with. Not only if a full-time practicing company, accountant, not only you should concentrate on the tally and giving the reports to this indirect taxation, return filing, indirect taxation, direct taxation. You should also concentrate on these 4 accounts. You can support 4 accounts to the professionals, so that you can be more equipped and you are more remunerated, and you will be happy with the all informations that I'm giving, which will be more useful to you to furtherance of your accounting business. So a company law may be defined, how a company law is useful to a company. Company law, just I want to define how it is useful to the people who are directing, who are the governing a company. It gives the rights, relation, and conduct of persons, companies, organization, and business. These 4 people, 4 point of units, 4 units: persons, companies, organization, and business. These are the key factors who needs to use company law. Not only them, now all accountants are going to use the company law by means of attending this session. It thus encompasses the formation, funding, governance, and death of a company. From formation to death, this company law is a very important subject that a company should go through and continue their business. Because a company should have this company law procedures, then only they can proceed their company transactions very fairly. So formation, funding, governance, and death of a company. These 4 points will be handled by a company secretary. The accountants appointed in a company is also going to support practicing accountant should also going to deal with this formation, funding, governance, and death of a company, because it needs more procedures. A company secretary can't do all that procedures. So that if you all study these 4 points formally, so I'm going to give you just introduction, but if you are going deeply, if you are spending more time on the act, companies act, so you will be getting the procedures, you'll be knowing the company act procedures, so that you can support the professionals. As an accountant, you can do the duties of formation, funding, governance, and death of a company. These 4 units are done with the registrar of companies and regional director office, NCLT, and these are all the organizations involved in doing these 4 units of a company, doing these 4 subjects of the company. These 4 subjects is the main thing to run a company: formation, funding, governance, and death of a company. Just I'm saying, formation is done by incorporation of a company, that is to be done with the registrar of companies. Funding means if it is a proprietorship partnership company, it is funded by themselves. If it is a limited company, it is done by issuing shares, debentures. You know that. Even then, I am saying governance is done by these professionals, company secretary, chartered accountant, and CMA persons. And the death of a company or winding up of a company is done by, you know, that insolvency professionals. It is a new topic that has been introduced in the company secretary's view. All company secretaries completing 10 years of service, they are doing this, they are doing that insolvency course, and they become an insolvency professionals. For winding up of a company or reviving of a company, an insolvency professional should do that work. So the following accounting sections under company law reveals the duties of the accountants. As we are going to see what are all the duties an accountant do under a company law. Our topic is that doing duties under company law. I have taken some sections, important sections under the Companies Act, which is useful to you so that you can furtherance of your services through these sections. You can see these sections by going through the Companies Act 2013, and you can make note fully. I have given just the sections, but if you go through the sections, you will know what are all the accounting portion of the Companies Act and what we have to do, how we support the company secretaries specifically. This is, you are doing income tax also, you are doing other work also, but what as a company secretary, I am saying that how an accountant are dutiful to company secretary by helping through these sections. As per section 128, books of accounts to be kept by the company. That is, as per section 128, it is mandated to a company which is coming under the Companies Act 2013. They have to keep the books of accounts in a periodical way. So in a registered office, they'll be registering one office. It will be a registered office. They'll have a branches. All the accounts of the registered office and the branch office should be kept in the registered office, and it should be maintained periodically. It should be kept for inspection of the members of the company. I will explain you about the members of the company laterally. Section 129, preparation and submission of financial statements. You know, you have your duty, main duty is to prepare the financial statements. So you would have come across those two important financial statements, that is balance sheet and income and expenditure statement. So section 129 deals with the preparation and submission of the financial statements. Section 130 is a peculiar section which will be appear rarely, but it is also there. Also, your duty is there. Reopening of accounts on courts or tribunal order. There will be some situation where a company should reopen the accounts. What is the meaning of reopening the accounts? Balance sheet and finance and this income and expenditure statement, that is profit and loss account statement, have been prepared periodically, quarterly, that you know. If the members or shareholders or any other person related to the company, if they need to reopen the accounts, I mean, that is a different point. In this point, if they have applied for a court or a tribunal to reopen the account, reopen the books of accounts, as they have some doubts, as they are they have a doubt that it is not proper. So in this point, as per section 130, we have to reopen the accounts by means of issuing a resolution. If it is a limited company, private limited company, we should issue a resolution and inform all the members of the company and reopen the company with the professionals and find out the frauds and misappropriation if happened as doubted by those people who have applied to the court or tribunals to reopen the accounts. If there is a rectification, we can do that rectification and resubmit to the court or the tribunals. Okay. Have you understand this point? These three sections, 128, 129. This two is more important. It is a regular subject. For 130, it is a rare subject. If one of the members of the company or the central government or any other person or any other organization linked to that company wants to reopen the accounts, if they apply to the court or the tribunal, we have to open. If the court's order is like that, we have to open that accounts and verify the fraudness which they mentioned. If it is there, we have to reconcile that. If it is not there, we have proved it true and fair view, we can resubmit the same accounts to the court and complete the court's orders provisions as per the order, court order. Section 131, voluntary revision of financial statements or board's report, which I said before. If any member or any other person related to our SEBI or like that, related to our company, which is running, if they want to revise the financial statements, or even our directors or the promoters, you know about the promoters? Promoters means the person who are purposeful for a company, main purpose for the company, who is responsible for incorporation of a company is said to be promoters. You know about the promoters? If not, I will explain. Section 131, voluntary revision of financial statements or board's report. Board's report contain more information. Financial statement contain only balance sheet and profit and loss account statement. So that is difference between financial statement and board's report. Board's report contain all the information. Financial statement contain only balance sheet and profit and loss account. As per this section, a company will follow the procedures under Companies Act 2013 amended till now 2022. They have to follow, mandatorily they have to follow these sections. If you go and visit a company, if you are working in a company, see what they are doing. See the board reports, read the board reports, read the annual reports, read the audit committee reports, read all the committee reports and how they are presenting. And in that, if occasionally voluntary revision is required, they will do under this section. Section 132, Constitution of National Financial Reporting Authority. It is an authority specifically constituted to recommend the central government accounting standards. They will recommend and they will see plus and minus in the accounting standards and creating of new accounting standards. This is the work which they do. Under this section, there will be a National Financial Reporting Authority, a government organization, which will give new accounting standards or any plus or minus in the existing accounting standards. Section 133, central government to prescribe accounting standards. The government will prescribe accounting standards by getting information from the National Financial Reporting Authority. This is for all the companies. This point will be suitable for all the companies. If we are working in the company, we'll be going to see accounting standards, AS 1 to 22. They will be having accounting standards. According to the accounting standards, we should deal with all the points of Companies Act, accounting part of the Companies Act. Section 135, corporate social responsibility. You would have come across this word, corporate social responsibility. Above 5 crore turnover, a company should contribute 2% of their profit to this corporate social responsibility. This has a separate act and it has the corporate social responsibility requires 4 sessions to explain. because it has that much of information that you all have to know. If you're working under a limited company or a private company or any other, if it is a limited company or a private company, if they are having a turnover based, CSR is a turnover based. If it is above 5 crore or above 10 crore, like that, they have to segregate 2% of their profit to fund this corporate social responsibility. What is the meaning of corporate social responsibility? Is that they have more number of points for which a company should spend their 2% of profit, like spending to environmental calamities, environmental calamities like this one. If there is any cyclone, like that, if it is people affected by the cyclone, they have to contribute their money to that sections of the people. So it is like that. Corporate social responsibility funds are used for welfare of the people. In a common word, it can be said that welfare of the people. 2% of the profit should yearly 2% of the profit. The amendment to the CSR is that they have to spend their CSR funds annually. They should not carry forward to the next year. That is an amendment to this CSR activities. So among all sections, book of accounts preparation and maintenance is the topic and which duties of accountant is discussed. So the section 128 and 129 is important sections in which you are going to work with. There are 4 accounting systems under company law that are to be practiced by the accountants. First, we are seeing about the cost accounting. The professional course studied under cost accounting is CMA now. Before ICWA, now it is CMA, Cost and Management Accountant. These CMA professionals will work in a manufacturing company, because a manufacturing company will require a cost accountant. You should know where they will be put up. If you are completing your CMA, where you will be put up. In government department also, you can be appointed after completing ICWA. After completing CMA, you can also be appointed in the income tax department. There is an option to work with income tax department after completing this CMA. If you go through the Google, you can find it out, because no one knows somebody. If we are doing this CMA, they'll directly go to practice, or they'll go to employment with the manufacturing unit. But there is also an option in the government that we can work with the income tax department and the central access also. They were having options, and the notification will be coming under the employment news. We can see that and apply to the course, apply to the post. After completing CMA, after getting membership of CMA, we can apply to the government departments also. That is the point which I want to say. First of all, how the cost accounting is, what is the meaning of that cost accounting? Just a small information. Cost accounting is classifying, recording, and appropriate allocation of the expenditure for the determination of the cost of products or services, and for the presentation of suitably arranged data for purpose of control and guidance of management. One company manufacturing one product have some expenditure. That expenditure should be classified, recorded, and appropriate allocation should be made. Raw materials should be classified, recorded, and appropriate allocated. Expenditure also, and the raw material also, to determination of the cost of the products or services. The product which we have selected requires classifying, recording, and appropriate allocation of the information under that product. So this is the cost accounting. How they are working with the cost accounting is that they have to classify, record, and appropriate allocation should be made of the expenditure for the determination of the cost of products or services. Just seeing the information under definition won't give you good information. Just you see the thing, and I will explain below how the cost accounting works. and for the presentation of suitably arranged data for purpose of control and guidance of management. Simply spending to the raw material, simply spending to the transportation, simply spending to the manufacturing process is not enough. It should be appropriate allocation of funds is required. That's why this department is working. So under the scope of this accounting requires cost ascertainment and cost ascertainment, procedure for measurement of production, procedure for linking production with the expenses. The three important points is under these three important points, the accountant will be working. What is that? Cost ascertainment is it deals with the collection and analysis of the expenses from the historical or actual costs, estimated costs, and standard costs. These are the three type of information which you have to collect and then process with the information. The procedure for measurement of production. It is a very big topic which we need a more 4 sessions to explain. Measurement of a production is from raw material to the finished product. We have to measure the time, the material required, first in, first out, or last in, first out. There are more topics from the raw material to the production end product. We have more information, but we have to measure it, and we should give time location, service location, expense location, and product location, product allocation to measure the product efficiently, to do the production efficiently. Procedure for linking production with expenses. These 3 points are the key points which are helpful to the accountants to work with the cost accounting people. This is the elements of cost which I want you to explain. How is the major elements of cost? If we know this is the key points. Just I have taken important points for the cost. If we know this point, we can work with the cost accounting firms. Material, labor, other expenses. For a production, we require material, major information. Material, labor, other expenses. So under this, there is 2 classifications for each head. Direct, indirect. How it is directly helpful, how it is indirectly helpful. Direct, indirect, and other expenses also direct, indirect. This indirect portion is set overheads. This indirect portion will set overheads. What are the names of the overheads? You should know. Works overhead, administration overhead, selling overhead, and distribution overhead. Works overhead, what does mean of works overhead? Administration overhead means works overhead related to labor, and administration overhead due to office expenses. Selling overhead itself is used to selling the product, and distribution. The expenses spending under distribution is said to be distribution overheads. And below this also, there is a statement of cost which you are going to work, but I didn't give this. In the next session, I will explain in deep, if you require, about how a statement of cost will be prepared, how it is periodically prepared, how it is presented to the costing firms, and how you people prepare the statement of cost, and how you each and every, even for under material, labor, other expenses, respectively, each and every topic needs people to work. If it is a very big company, 100 crores, 1000 crore company, each and every element of cost needs a department, and it needs more people to work. So it depends upon the company's nature and what are the duties that you are going to do. Cost accounting record rules. There is one rules for cost accounting applicable to the class of companies manufacturing the product under reference. For each product, there is a cost accounting rules which we have to follow to make the cost accounts. The procedure for accounting of materials, labor, depreciation, overheads, and their allocation, apportionment, and absorption to products, treatment of byproducts, joint products, scrap. Under costing, you are all going to work under all these topics. These are all each and every topic needs more sessions to explain. But you should know the key words under costing. So I have given this points. Materials, labor, depreciation, overheads, and their allocation, If for allocation, there is separate department. Apportionment, there is separate department, and absorption also, there is a separate department for each product. If a company, see this Hindustan Liver, they are having more number of products. For that, they need separate department and separate people. So there are more opportunities for the accountants under this cost accounting. You have to search and go and employ, or you can get a part-time work from the cost accounting firms, and you can do the work. Or cost accounting, a manufacturing company, you can get practicing, full-time practicing accountants can get opportunity from the manufacturing companies to do the work under cost accounting. So specific persistent deficiencies in the system pointed out in earlier reports but not rectified. In these points you have to see. What is the accountant duty is that persistent deficiencies in the system pointed out in earlier reports but not rectified. If a cost accounting report is submitted by you with the support of an accountant, if you find any persistent deficiencies after the submission, you should rectify that in the present report. The future report, if you're preparing, you should rectify that. Your help is needed by a cost accounting firm or a manufacturing unit. Give specific comments on the inventory valuation. It is a separate topic which everyone should know if we work under the cost accounting firm, because followed for raw materials, work in progress, finished goods. These are the three main points which come under the cost accounting. Raw materials, if a product needs this much of raw materials, that will be classified under the raw materials. Work in progress, the production will be in progress. Even in the progress, they will measure the work in progress and they will submit it to the bank, because they need a working capital. If they need a working capital, they have to measure the work in progress procedures, cost accounting procedures under work in progress for a period, or say 1 quarter or 4 quarters. They will prepare, because they won't get a finished product immediately. It will take 6 months or 3 months or 1 year to do a product. So if we need a working capital in the middle of the manufacturing, they should prepare a work in progress and they should submit to the bank, and they'll get the loan for working capital, having a working capital. Briefly specify the changes, if any, made in the, why I'm saying this point work in progress is, you're going to prepare a report for this work in progress to get the loan. Briefly specifying the changes, if any, made in the costing system methods of overhead allocation, apportionment during the current financial year as compared to the previous financial year. In the current financial year, we need a certain amount of raw materials, labor, and other expenses. For the next year, it should be appreciated. That we can give advice. This much of overhead is required. This much of expenses is required. This much of raw material. 10% ahead is, just for example, 10% ahead is required for manufacturing the same product in the next year. That we can give advice if we have information about a specific product under a manufacturing company of the current year information. If we have the current year information, we can advise for the next year information using our knowledge and the nature of the manufacturing company. That also an accountant can do. The accountants in practice can support qualified cost accounting firm by preparing statement of cost for each product of a manufacturing company, periodical preparation of overhead cost. These two important duties can do by an accountant also. If you go and approach a manufacturing company or cost accounting firms doing work for a manufacturing company, you can get a part of the work from them, and you can do that with your system itself. Second, accounts. We have 4 accounts. First, we have seen the cost account, under which your account duties have been explained. Now we are going to a financial account, under which we are going to do. Just we should know. Present, now present work done by an accountant is under financial accounting. I think everyone knows this. Even then, I want to explain it so that I can go in deep. So financial accounting may be defined as the science and art of recording and classifying business transaction. Also, we can say this as a revenue transaction. That is a manufacturing transaction. This is a business transaction. That is different from cost summaries of the same for determining year-end profit and loss account and the financial position of the concern. Under financial accounting, we'll be preparing two principal statements: income and expenditure statement or profit and loss account statement, balance sheet. If it is a manufacturing company, we will prepare trading account. That is one thing for manufacturing company. Under financial accounting, what are all the duties? We have more duties to do. I don't know which duties you are going with. And I think 90% of the people will work under the tally. There are rare reports under tally that should also know. You have to practice yourself to know so that you can give reports. You can give reports to any project. Under, if anyone wants to submit a project for the bank to get the loan, you can prepare that report also. That is coming under the tally. You can go inside deep and see what are all the reports coming, what are the reports that a project needs for a company. If any company needs to do a project to incorporate, for incorporation itself, they do a project. For that, you can serve you can give your services to the project also. How you can do that is there is some reports that can be prepared under tally. You prepare that reports and create a project, and you can give to the company which is going to start to get the loan. All accounting transactions of each day are to be classified and recorded. I know you will have a procedure to keep the accounting transactions. Even then, I want to stress you to do this work compulsorily so that your work under financial accounting will be easier. This is the main thing. You know, in our accounting terms, it is said to be journalizing the transaction. It is said to be journalizing the transaction. If they give end of the month the information, it won't be work under financial accounting. If it is the GST, you can work under, you can do like that. After 30 days, you can get the invoices and you can create the return. But under financial accounting duties, as there is a computerized system, you can get all the accounting transaction at the end of the day of a company and you record with you so that you can prepare the following informations. What? First one, budget focus to be prepared. For the company, you can prepare the budget focus. It itself need a very big explanation, but time constraint, as a time constraint, I'm just giving the headings. You can go Google and do see the topics. Handle monthly, quarterly, and annual closings that you are doing. Reconcile accounts payable and receivables. Tally gives you this information. Ensure timely banking payments. If you do the timely banking payments, the contra entry won't be affected. So compute taxes and prepare tax returns. Manage balance sheets and profit and loss statements. Though you are doing accountant duties, I think some of the points are not to be come across by you, so that I have designed this. You can, if you are not doing that work, you can do that work also. Support publishing financial statements. What does this point mean is that a company should publish its financial statements, whether it is a private company or a public limited company. They have to publish financial statements quarterly in the regional newspaper or the English newspaper. So for that also, an accountant can do the work for them. Examining the accuracy of documents and where they stand with the laws and regulations. Though you're doing an accountant job, you should be perfect with the laws and regulations under which you're working. Even if it is an income tax law, indirect tax law, GST law, any other law, you have to do procedurally. Even just for an example, under GST, you have to see current notifications, because if you are filing a return related to your product that needs latest notification, if you didn't see the notification and file the return, then it will be obsolete and you will be going to pay penalty like that. You have to update yourself with the laws and regulations. Then only you can work under these topics. Offering advice to organizations on how to reduce costs. Under cost accounting, we have to advise this also, how to reduce the cost. If you study the company for which you're working, you can give this advice. How to reduce cost, improve their revenue, and boost profit. These 3 points very much important to a company if we are giving advice on these points. Reduce costs, improve their revenue, and boost profit. There are points under this, latest points under this 3 points. I can explain you in future. Keep account books and system update always by registering the accounting transaction at the end of the day. You can do this work. You can update your account books. Keep account books and systems updated. Working with external auditors. Who are these external auditors? These external auditors are appointed by the limited company by passing resolution. These external auditors will look after their external auditors will look after their books of accounts of a company. We can support their firms, this type of firms, and give services. Recording payments and disbursements, a separate topic. Okay, under financial accounting, these are all the points. If you have well versed with the tally, these points will come under the tally. That's it's okay. You need not separately work. But if you're working for the company, limited company, the external accountant, the external auditors firm, you should know much more than these points, because they will work for the limited company. So they require more information than a normal tally will give. So if you're helping a limited company, private company, if it's a private company, if you're practicing by yourself, it's okay. That point is okay. If you are giving information to limited company, external auditors, firms who are working with a limited company, you should know the company accounts, then only you can manage with them. So if you are about to give service, if you are trying to give service to the auditors of the people who are working with the limited company, you should also know the laws and regulations, then only you can give a good information to the firm. So they will appreciate and they will remunerate you perfectly. So on the third accounts which we have to know under company law is a management accounting. It's a very complicated accounting that it is very helpful to us to go to the next step of our accountant level. If we know this management accounting, we can go for the next level under accountancy services. It is the study of managerial aspect of accounting. It is redesigned accounting to help management in formation of the policy, control of execution, appreciation of effectiveness. All are complicated words which is used in the Companies Act, but you should know what is under management accounting. This word, if coined, what we have to study under management accounting. So this formation of policy is that an important point of a company at the time of incorporation. How an accountant can do the work under formation of policy is that if we appointed as a firm to practicing companies, practicing accountant firm under a company, we can also support to create the policy. If we study fully about a company, we can give information, we can support for the formation of the policy. Control of execution. How to control an execution of the duties under a company. For that, we can support. Appreciation of effectiveness. How a company can effectively work. How to appreciate it. For that also, an accountant can help. It is that system of accounting which helps management in carrying out its functions more efficiently. A company itself cannot conduct its management. With the help of all the employees, a management can efficiently run its functions. That for that, accountant service also an important one. Management accounting comprises how under management, what are all the topics an accountant can support. That is this points. Financial statements, financial analysis, ratio analysis, statement of changes in the financial positions, fund flow statement, cash flow statement, cost concept analysis and behavior, marginal costing and break-even analysis, differential analysis, standard costing, budget and budgetary control, responsibility accounting. These are all the key factors how a company runs, how it helpful to a company to run efficiently. These are more complicated topics, and each topic require one session, because you can know the words which come under the management accounting, and I will explain you laterally in full. If you need, I will say ratio analysis. They have ratio analysis is just one example. Profit versus net worth of a company. It's a ratio between profit with the net worth of a company. Financial assets and liabilities. Like that, they will create the ratio how it is profitable to the company. And also fund flow statement, cash flow statement related to the working capital management. Cost concept analysis and behavior come under costing also. Costing and management, both mingled, so that we can create this cost concept analysis. And marginal costing and break-even analysis related to profit. These two topics relates to our profit of a company. Differential analysis, standard costing related to the budget. Budget and budgeting alone itself related to the budget. And responsibility accounting is the consequences of the total accounts to the company. How accounts managed, how it reflects to the company, how we are managing that management, how it reflects to the company, whether it is profitable or not. That we will study under responsibility accounting. This is a small diagram which explains how information is gathered for management accounting and the process under management accounting, and the feeding of that management account, how it goes to further goes to other topics. This is the thing. Financial account, the information for management accounting is received from financial accounting, cost accounting, other sources. And management accounting, from these sources, they will create, these are all a separate subject. Data identification. Under data identification, there are more techniques. We will study company secretary subjects. Under a company secretary, we will study this data identification. Under this data identification, there are more techniques from which using the techniques, how we will identify this data, which we received from financial accounting, cost accounting, and other sources. Measurement, how to measure this data. Accumulation, how to accumulate this data, collected data. Analysis, for example, ratio analysis, how to analyze the data. Preparation and interpretation, and preparing the statements from using this data, and how to interpret to the company. The professionals, the accountants will interpret the preparation of the statements to the company members, so that they can plan and decision making. There will be a top management, middle management, and the lower management. The top management will use this data preparation for planning and decision making of the policies. Hence, management accounting is useful for planning and decision making of the policies of a company. Implementation, After planning and decision making, we have to implement practically. For that also it will be useful. And controlling all the transactions of a company. Management accounting is helpful to control all the services and information and everything coming under a company. So if it gives back to the feedback, that data generation once again useful for the next financial year of creating financial accounting, cost accounting, other sources information. So this will be useful for next year preparation. Company accounts. I think some people will be helping under this topic. If you are not doing work under this company accounts, you can now see. I'm just giving a definition to the company accounts, how it comes. A company is a voluntary association of people who contribute money for common purpose. It will be a company is an artificial person or a separate legal entity. This is for a limited company. If it is a proprietor and partnership companies, it won't be an artificial person. It will be depend upon the partners and the proprietor. But for a limited company, the company is entirely different from key management personnel. A company is an artificial person and a separate legal entity. The contribution of money by people forms the capital of the company. In the proprietorship, partnership, private company, the persons will own their money to start a company. But a limited company, the people as a share, they will contribute money as for to form the capital of the company. With that capital, they will start the company. The contributor or its members, the capital of the company, or the contributor of the money, that is people, is said to be members. The capital of the company is known as share capital. The contributor is known as shareholders. We can set them also as shareholders. Supporting services may be rendered under following works. Under company accounts, an accountant can do duty under the following topics. You would have come across or not, I don't know, but you have an opportunity to work under these topics. But each and every topic have a separate organization. They will have a separate organization to do this work. You can support that separate organization also. That is a registered valuer and agents, registered agents for dealing with the shares. For those companies, you can support. Issue of shares for cash, issue of shares for consideration. It's a separate topic to deal with. If it is issue of shares for cash, IPO created is entirely different. If it's issue of shares for consideration, no IPOs, it is among the members. And under an over subscription, it will be done within the company. Call in advance, call in arrears, issue of shares to promoters, forfeiture of shares, getting back the shares. That is the forfeiture of shares. A new technical word, forfeiture of shares, we are getting back the shares. Reissue of shares. If we want, once again, we reissue of shares. Issue of debentures, issue of debentures as a security. We can issue debentures normally, or we can issue debentures as a security. There are two types of debentures. Issue of preference shares, capital redemption reserve account. These are all the topics which we are going to work. And types of shares as per section 43 of the Companies Act. Capital of a company can be of two types: equity share capital and the preferred share capital. These are the two topics which I have shown you the topics under which each department runs. SEBI fully control the issue of shares and debentures. SEBI, SEBI organization is to which it controls all the shares and all the shares and debentures issued by the companies all over India. They are the organization. Just I want to show you that I want to make known which organization controls the issue of shares and debentures. Artificial intelligence, which the sir had given you the introduction. Artificial intelligence, you would have come across or not, I don't know, but I will explain you in detail. I have fastened my topics because I want to concentrate in this. The budding accountants should know this topic and should work in this topic. It's a latest topic. If you know this topic, you can go to the overseas also and work under any company. If you do any diplomas under this topic and practice with accounting processes under an artificial intelligence enabled system, artificial intelligence enabled system for accounting processes, then you will know about this technology. New technology is changing the way the people in every industry. It is also changing the expectation of the clients when working with the companies. Half of the company under big top management, they have shifted to artificial intelligence. AI-enabled automation reduces how it works, how it is useful to the company. Just see. AI enables automation reduces 80 to 90% of the time taken by the workforce for disparate and repetitive tasks. As an accountant, you will do the repetitive tasks. And it will take that repetitive task by itself and it will do. And there is a negative point that an accountant loses his jobs. But if we know that techniques, we can use that technique and do other project work by using this repetitive task. You need not do that repetitive task. Let the AI do that repetitive task. Using that tasks, you can prepare projects, reports, and you give it to the firms and accounting firms, or you give directly to the companies and you develop yourself. So almost all accounting tasks, including payroll, tax, banking, and audit, have become automated with AI. AI increases productivity and output quality even as it results in greater transparency and auditability. You are doing audit work, but it will do by itself an audit work. Automatic auditability, transparency also. If you want to take in, just for an example, if you want to take a profit per day, today's profit, it will give. How it is giving, it will get all the information, day-to-day information with it, and it use its automation and give us this type of important reports. If we make on this technology, will be also easier to take the reports. Help it forecasting accurate financial statements. Though we are man-made financial statements require certain corrections, this AI forecast accurate financial statements. A company will rely on this AI. In future, the company will rely on this AI. But they can't do by themselves this artificial intelligence work also. Artificial intelligence enabled computer system also work by an accountant. If there is an accountant, only they will go inside and take the reports. You are recording the repetitive transactions now, but in future you will create reports using this AI, because it will record all the repetitive tasks. You will get the reports from that. It will create the repetitive task. You will get the reports from that repetitive task and present it to the persons who required. There is one robotic process automation that can complete, which under artificial intelligence, there is one key word to be known, that is robotic process automation, can complete repetitive tasks in the enterprise business processes with the efficiency. What is this enterprise business processes? All the information, accounting information, is said to be enterprise business processes with efficiency, including document of data analysis. That also the robotic process automation will do analysis. Man-made analysis can not compete with this robotic analysis, because They have been functioned like that. So using the data analysis, we can help to create the reports to the accounting firms or the company directly. Intelligent automation is a more sophisticated version of RPA. The next level artificial intelligence is the intelligent automation. In that intelligent automation, what functions are all happening? You see, IA mimic human interaction in many cases. That is, in a board meeting, if they are discussing about a new topic, it will gather that information. That system-enabled, artificial intelligence system-enabled computer will gather, mimic it against, mimic the human interaction in many cases, such as understanding inferred meaning in client communication. The company will record the client communication. If you are getting any commodity from any goods from Amazon, if you are putting your ideas under Amazon purchasing, it will be as a clear communication. And using historical data to adapt to an activity. That is, this client communication become an historical data and it will be adopted as an activity. There are multiple applications of RPA and IA in accounting work. Generally, multiple applications of RPA and IA works for accounting. So accounting in future will be based on this AI. So it's my gentle advice that doing a diploma in artificial intelligence and accounting process is more useful as an accountant. And I have completed my PPT presentation on your duties.
Yeah.
I think I have exactly completed.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. You have come on, and then we should thank you because how much time you have spent on this and very elaborate, in-depth session. And we have learned, actually, me also learned so many things from you here. You have talked about it is called as a complete accounting. Because some of the participants also may not be aware that there are so many opportunities in case of the cost accounting, inventory control, inventory accounting, and then your technology about the artificial intelligence, financial accounting, management accounting, all in depth. And we really thank you having spared the time and given a very good presentation. I never seen such an excellent presentation.
Thank you so much.
I request all the participants, please give her a big hand. Let us thank her with our all the students. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam, so this is a very good 1 minute. So, any more questions are there? Briefly in 5 minutes, please. If you have the queries, you can just speak to her.
Unmute
Be
yourself.
fast. Speak in English only, please. Any more queries?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Ma'am, we don't know about artificial intelligence, ma'am.
Yeah.
After your class, we came to know, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Very nice, very nice.
Ma'am, how we can get into this field, ma'am?
There is an courses in the universities itself. You can go and verify with the universities for physical mode. If you want to learn online mode, you can go through the Google and get a diploma in artificial intelligence under accounting process. If you put like that, you will get all the person who are conducting this online courses for this subject.
Madam,
you can register online.
It is a future part of it. I think still are they now available in the market? Still, I think they are working on the processes.
Yes, sir.
Artificial intelligence, many of that, because in the future, it is called as a future accountant. So there will be these are like interactive sessions will give you some information. After that, which one you require, they can choose.
Yes. First, we should study artificial intelligence.
Study.
And then specification of artificial intelligence.
Okay. Any more? Yes, madam. We thank you. We close the session. All the participants, hope you are all now aware about many aspects of accountancy. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ananda. Good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.